Good evening. Excuse me. Hey Ian, how you doing? Just gonna start up a flight from Sumburgh to Bergen because I see we've got some VATSIM ATC online at Bergen, so I'm gonna see how we go. We've got, here we are on Volanta. For some reason the Bergen ATC doesn't appear on Volanta, but if I go to SimAware, you've got almost fully staffed at Bergen and people coming inbound and a couple of people on the ground. So, and it's just under 200 nautical miles, so we're going to see what we can do. We're going to try and escape the UK for a little bit while we run away from this storm inbound. I was landing earlier on in Shannon and it was pretty bad. Hey, good afternoon from Orlando, Florida. What's the weather like in Florida? What's the weather? I'm gonna go check the weather in Florida. Let's see, METAR. I'm gonna go check a METAR in Florida. Miami, that's a good place to go. 31 Celsius. Oh. Overcast at 25,000 feet, broken at 14,000 and scattered at 2,500. Goodness me. 8 knots gusting 15, 31.1 Celsius. Oh. Wow. That's weather that I'm just not used to. I should fly over there more often. I should. It's taking a while to load up the sim. It does usually take a while sometimes. So, while the sim loads up, there we go, it's loaded. Well, let's just get ourselves selected. Let's go to Sumburgh. Now, I was in this parking spot. I'm going to choose the aircraft first. It is... I haven't flown the Cessna 414 in a while. But then why would you fly anything when you have the Comanche? This is the question. Customization, Golf Fleet, India Foxtrot, Romeo. And it's going to be right there. Oh. Let's hit fly and see what happens. So essentially, because the Sumburgh VOR is so long range, we can basically fly on a radial out from Sumburgh almost all the way into Bergen. In fact, we are pretty much still in range of the Sumburgh VOR at Bergen, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna, but obviously we won't use it all the way out there. We might use it out the way until maybe the top of descent or something, and then tune the local Friesland. Let me see. Yeah, is that? Yeah, Friesland VOR, or whatever is needed to give us an approach. Let's just come over here. Okay, ready to fly. Okay. Here's our aircraft since we last opened it up. I just flew Hong Kong, Bangkok, Phuket in the DC-6. Yeah, Ian, I just jumped into your live stream very briefly about an hour ago, and I saw that. That looks really cool. The PMDG DC-6 is amazing. I was actually flying the Red Wings Super Connie from Frankfurt to Shannon earlier today, and it's so badly optimized. The frame rates are atrocious. It's just not worth flying at the moment still, unfortunately. And then as soon as I landed, it was like 14 frames per second landing in Shannon, and then I jumped out of that and immediately jumped into the DC-6, and you have like 40 frames per second in the DC-6, internal and external views. It was just night and day. It's amazing. Just despite that as well, you've got just such an amazing aircraft to fly. Anyway, not talking about the DC-6 or indeed the Red Wings at the moment. We're now talking about the A2A Comanche version 1.3. So let's go and have a look. So we've got 15 knot gusting 19 knots. That's not quite what I thought it was. Let's double check the meta. Oh. 14 knots apparently. It's an estimate. Oh, okay, maybe that's just an estimate. 18 knots. That says 18 knots. How does little nav map give me 14 knots crosswind right now, and this is 16 knots, 17 knots? This is going to be bumpy, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, right. Just make sure I've got Alison, or good morning, afternoon, evening, Seppi to mods and chat. I don't have any mods, so I'm not really that posh, to be honest. Right, so let's go to my SimBrief profile. I have 113 kilograms of fuel, so let's go kg to gallons. Converter. It's not water I'm trying to convert, it's 100 LL. Water. Cookies. Oil, flour. No, okay, yeah. Now 100 and, how much did I say? 113. Converted is roughly 29 gallons. Let's call it 30 gallons. So let's give ourselves 15 gallons on either side. Let's say 16 because we're going over the water. You never know. So 32 gallons. Update digital aircraft monitor. Now, it's been a while since we flew this, so let's do a proper thorough walk around. Actually, before we even jump out here, let's open the door. Let's take the control wheel locks off. Yeah, and see how we go. Before I do that, let's just double check that we can hear what... Yeah, there we go. Just double check that we can hear everything. Sounds good. Good. Well, I've actually got nothing in the tip tanks at the moment, so I'm just going to leave them. I'm going to leave that as well. That looks good. Right. I have to kind of put my head down to get close to that. There we go. Yep, looking good. Remove the chalk. Right, so underneath the belly. We are clear. Double check the propeller. All looks good. Yeah. No rags or spanners or anything stuck inside. Okay, let's remove the engine heater. Let's double check the oil. I did replace an oil filter. Hey Daniel, how you doing? I did, yeah, there you go. So we're just under 9 quarts, which is fine, and the oil looks really nice and clear. We did replace the oil filter recently, and that's made a big difference. Right. Let's go check the left tank. I love how you can get really close into it. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking. I mean, it's hard to visually gauge exactly how much when you've just got a small hole like that to look through, but we can look in and we can at least see that that's been done. How are my audio levels, by the way, guys? Are we all good? Let's just check if the pitot is working. Let's go turn on the battery and the pitot heat, and then let's just test this. There you go. Good to know that the pitot heat still works. And don't worry about that or that. Looking good. All good, yes. Thank you, Ian. Flaps seem to be operating very nicely. Pitot static air source valve is good. Everything seems to be tight, no problems as far as I can see, still clear. And baggage over to Bergen. Let's just take, well, what's in there, I think. It's fine. It sounds great. Thank you, Ron. And back into the cabin. Close the door. And lock. Okay, so that is a standard walk around. We've got 75 hours on the airframe and 65 on the engine. So I don't feel like I need to really do any of this right now. Let's leave that for another day. So we've got the avionics on. We shouldn't really have the avionics on. Let's run through our checklists. Oh, what is that? Hang on. 56 Fahrenheit. Why are we looking at Fahrenheit and not Celsius all of a sudden? I didn't change that. Did I? Ah, metric. No, metric units. I like having gallons because the gauges are in gallons. I like seeing this in gallons. Maybe it's always been in Fahrenheit and I'm only now just realizing. Okay. Anyway, checklist. Before engine start. Pre-flight. Okay, so we've done the pre-flight. We are complete passengers. We have been briefed. It's just me flying across. Seatbelts have been secured. Controls locked. Controls lock have been removed. Parking brake is set. Yep. Gear switch, it is down. Flaps are up. Radios are off. Everything is off. Circuit breakers are in. Rotating beacon on. Double check the circuit breakers are all good. Rotating beacon goes on. And then we go to the engine start checklist. So we're going to start the engine up and get it warmed up on the pad while we connect to ATC. How's the booth coming along? Thank you, Ian. The booth has arrived. I've built the whole thing. I've set it all up. The only thing I've got now to do is to install the foam on the inside, and the foam should be coming to me in the mail tomorrow. So once the foam is all installed, then I can do my first initial sound tests, and then get rolling. But essentially, the whole thing is built in the room, ready to go. Looks really nice. Just taken me longer to get up and running than I thought. The company has been quite bad in terms of timings and stuff, but you know, it is what it is. Right, engine start. Fuel selectors. Let's go to Side Tank. We're only flying on the mains today, so once they're set. We don't have to worry about them. So we have our mixture. Let's make that. Oh, hello. Why is... Oh, I know why. It's because in my controls, I still have my control set up for 4-engine propliner. So I should go and change this. No, let's not go to the left. It needs to be to the right. Dual engine right. And then this needs to be dual engine left. There we go. And then I hit apply and save. Go back, resume. And now we should be able... There you go. There's my mixture, my throttle, and my RPM. So, throttle, we need to crack that, like so. Prop full forward it is. Carb heat is off all the way in. Master switch, we can go on now. Fuel pump, we can go on, and we can watch the fuel flow come up. And once it comes up above into the green, we'll then turn it off, like so. Primer, 1 to 5 strokes. I usually find 3 is good. 1, 2, 3. Hello, Peter. Just bought the Comanche. What a wonderful add-on, as always with A2A. Tonight we make La Havre Elstree with it. Nice. I hope all goes well. If you have any questions, let me know. Manual was written before metrics. Oh, you see what we're seeing now? Something that still virtually no other developer does other than A2A, even in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The windows are fogging up. Look, when I go outside, inside, outside, inside, the windows are fogging up. Once we get some heat into the cockpit, that should clear up. But for now, let's just watch it fog up. So that was the primer. The mags, let's put the mags on both. Like set. Mags. Prop area, we shout clear. And then we go starter engage. What I'm going to do, actually, I found this is helpful. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to turn off the mags. I'm going to rotate the cylinders a few cycles. Then I'm going to turn the mags on. And because that cycled a bit of fuel through the cylinders, now when I go a maintenance and the engine analyzer page, watch this thing spring into life much quicker. Boom. There you go. Lean for ground operations, like so. T's and P's. Fuel pressure is very good. No problems there. Oil pressure is good. And oil temperature will begin rising. It's just lean for ground operations. There we go. Sounds quite loud. Is that loud for you guys? Is that competing with my voice audio? Let me know. Okay, so engine analyzer page. Let's go back to... Yep, we checked lean as operated. Alright, taxi. So the taxi checklist is the next checklist we need. Let's just double check where we are with VATSIM. There is no VATSIM online where we are right now, so that's not going to be a big deal, but we will connect to it anyway right now. Yeah, let me know about the audio levels of the engine. If it's too much, I can turn the engine. No, it's not too loud. Okay, that's good. It sounds a bit loud to me, but in fact, if it sounds loud to me, can I'm just going to do that. I'm going to do that. It's fine. Connect. All right. Call sign. Golf. Lima India Foxtrot Romeo, and we are a PA 24, is it? Yep. Connect. Right, let's get the avionics master on. Let's get that engine analyzer going. Temperature's 13 Celsius. Have a nice flight, thank you. Let it go through those checks. Yeah, we did check the oil. We did check. Let's go fuel and payload, and let's go update engine analyzer. So it knows now that we have 32.1 remaining, which is correct, cross-checked. Okay. So let's go back to our checklist. Okay, so flight plan. EGPB, ENBR. It's basically going to be EGPB direct ENBR. That's it. No GPS, only VOR to VOR navigation radio. Yeah, that's good. We're going to go up to 10,000 feet. And the sim brief tells us it's going to take us an hour and 10 minutes to get there. So let's pop that in. And we've got an hour and 50 minutes of fuel easily. That is it. File flight plan. No problems. No problems there. Alright, let's just make sure we're on 122.8. And we're on altitude transponder, which is good. Okay, let's just run through a taxi checklist. No, let's make a call and first, and then run through the taxi checklist as we... Okay, we're going to take runway 15 for obvious reasons. We're going to take runway 15 for obvious reasons. The headwind is so definitive. And actually, in-sim A2A panel is saying we have a stronger headwind than the little nav map, which I've never seen before. I've never seen a discrepancy. So we are going to taxi runway 15 and then take off runway 15, which is going to be an interesting runway to take off from. So Sumburgh traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is taxiing from remote stand to runway 15 for easterly departure, Sumburgh traffic. Okay, so with that call made, let's just make sure we've... I still can't quite believe that... Oh, yep, trim. Trim always likes to... make sure that's neutral. Trim always likes to catch me out. Taxi checklist. Primer, we locked that. Master avionics is on. Ammeter is checked. We have 22 amps. Radios are on. Transponder is as required. It's on alt. Heading indicator. Let's go 15. Like so. Select heading 15. Landing gear lamp is green. Yes, it is green. Nav lights as required. Okay, let's get the taxi lights on. Like so. Parking brake, release, brakes test on initial roll. So release the brakes, aircraft's moving, and test the brakes. All good. So let's swing round to the right hand side. And that's now we go to the run-up checklist, and we'll do the run-up at the hold because it's a quiet evening. I'm going to put this down here because it's getting in the way of my view. Let's give myself 1 notch of flaps, although I don't think I'm going to need 1 notch of flaps. I'm going to take it anyway. And by the time we land, we're going to be landing in the dark, so we're gonna see the night lighting of the cockpit as well. So we're going to be using 1735. So let's put 1735 on nav 1. Set. And the outbound radial for the Sumburgh VOR is Magnetic 081. So let's set that. It's about 8321. Set. We probably actually... Yeah, we could do an intersection takeoff. No problem. Let's do a takeoff from Kilo. I was initially going to go with full length, but screw it. We're in a Comanche. We don't need full length. Okay, let's go on the brakes. Okay, let's take our... Okay, position... Okay, we're not positioned into wind. Let's position into wind. Let's just be pedantic. No one else is here right now. Let's just swing the aircraft around and position us into wind. Like so. There we go. 7 knot headwind. Brakes on. Okay, fuel quantity. Double check that. We're on half tanks each. Fuel selectors are on the desired tanks. Mixture as required. Let's go mixture rich. Throttles 2000 RPM. Set. Engine instruments. Check it. Check. The pressure's good. The temperature's good. Amps are holding, and the fuel pressure is holding. Magnetos. Let's drop number 1. Let's drop. Yep, that's about 100 RPM drop. Back to both. Okay, set. And again, about 100 RPM drop. And back to both. Max differential is 50. We are within that constraint. Okay, let's cycle the prop 3 times. Okay, third time, and now reduce until 1800 RPM. Which is there, and check that we're holding steady, which we are. Okay, RPM back up, and let's reduce back down to idle. Okay, and then check the carb heat. Carb heat is in. Okay, before takeoff checklist. Controls. Free and clear. Elevator trim is neutral. Rudder trim is as required. Door is latched. Flaps set as desired. Fuel tank is on desired tank. Fuel pump is, let's go on. Mixture, full rich. Prop, full forward. Carb heat off. Engine gauges check. Oil pressure, temp, fuel pressure, amps, EGT, cylinder head temps, good. Pitot heat is as required. Let's not put that on right yet. And strobes, let's go strobes on. And landing lights as required. Okay. So let's Sumburgh traffic, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo is taking off runway 15 for an easterly departure via Kilo. Sumburgh traffic. Okay, across the threshold now, onto the runway. We're going to take a left-hand turn, we're going to take off on this stretch of the runway here. So, throttle full open. Check that the speed is alive, engine gauges check, rotate at 85 mile an hour, positive climb, verify, gear up, flaps up, airspeed is 105 for climb out, and emergency landing area, verify. Well, we do have something on that. Right, let's go throttle is up. Release brakes. Right rudder. airspeed live. Engine gauges. Check. All smooth. Liftoff 85. Positive rate confirmed. Gear is up. 105 for climb out. And the AcuSim aerodynamics is just amazing. Okay, let's go flaps up. I just bared left because of that summit. Now I can see the summit. I'm going to take a left-hand turn. Right, we're going to come back now. Let's go 24 squared. Squared set. Sun is going to set soon. Okay. Let's go wings level. Let's trim. And we're going to do a right hand turn to track. Oh, there's the radial we're passing over right now. So let's track out 081 and climb to 10,000. Okay, let's get the autopilot function working. And immediately you trim it out and it's just rock solid. Let's go heading hold first. Heading hold set. Feet off the rudder pedals. And let's go VOR track. And it should track. Right, I haven't been looking at chat. There we go. Pulled the chat up. So, it's a little bit louder than it was earlier on, but we should be okay. Still climbing at 1,000 feet per minute. Let's just push our manifold up to 24. Set. And let's lean mixture to 75%. Already at 3,000 passing through. Climbing flight level 100. So, climb checklist. Fuel pump off at 1,000 feet, which is there. Power reduce at 1,000 feet, 24 squared. Cylinder head temperatures check. We are all under the red lines, which is good. And mixture lean is required. That is the cruise checklist. And let's just use, we've got a good lean for best power. We can see a little bit of icing beginning on the manifold. So let's just pull a little bit of that. Cabin floodlight. There we go. Nav and instruments. There we go. We've got some good lights going on there. Cabin vent. We've got to bring in some cabin heat. Let's bring in some cabin heat. Aircraft. There we go. 49 Celsius. That's pretty cold. I could have sworn I had that at Celsius recently. And it's at Fahrenheit here as well. How do I change that? Now that I'm in the climb. How do I change that? Yeah. So that's metric air pressure, thank you. Metric temperature, there you go. That's what I was looking for. I don't know why that was switched off, but there we go. Okay, I'm going to pause track IR now. And go and have a look at... Yeah, we've got a 23 knot crosswind. Up through 6,000 feet. Let's go on to QNH 1010. So that's 11, 12, 13 set. That's QNH 1013. Pause track IR. So let's push the manifold up to, well, we're up at 100% on the throttle, and a manifold reading of 23.3. And still, again, we have no the ATC for Bergen doesn't represent on Volanta, strangely. But I can see it on... can I see the ATC on... No, I can't. Why does it say it's there, then? That doesn't look good. I don't know why. So on Sumburgh, we have delivery, ground, tower, and ATIS on at Bergen right now. But yet, in Plan G, we don't have any of those represented, and we're only 200 nautical miles away from them. You know, we've got London Control, we've got Manchester, Scotland, we've got somewhere in the Netherlands represented in the list, but we don't see Bergen, which is worrying. I don't know why. So it's represented there, but then when we go over to Volanta shows nothing. But it does show aircraft on the ground, so I really don't know what's going on. We'll just have to wait and see when we get there. What is the state? The status quo. GA on VATSIM. Yep. That's what we're here for. So we're coming up 1,000 feet to go. Oh, look at that. That's the screenshot. Right there, that's the screenshot. I'm going to turn the lights off now. Ooh, we are -3. We need to get the pitot on. Excellent. Good thing you didn't forget that. Right, let's get some engine heat. Let's turn down the cabin ventilation and turn up the engine heat. We should see that trend increase. There we go. Yeah, 11 Celsius. We should get that a bit higher now. So up through 9,000. hopefully we'll get some ATC on at Bergen. I mean, like I say, it looks on one provider, one VATSIM overview provider, that there is, and then on another one there isn't. So I don't really know which one to believe, but I can see on vPilot there's no list. Oh, there's no list of those controllers, which is a bit worrying. If I go to I'm on VATSIM server automatic, so I can't change to a specific server. Performance updates. Yeah, I don't know. We will see. Anyway, when we get there, we'll have a fun landing anyway. Right, oh, that's 1,000. That's 10,000. Let's reduce throttle. Let's reduce our throttle down to 17 inches. And our manifold, our RPM down to 1,800. Okay, let's just fine-tune using the engine analyzer. 1800 and 17 inches manifold. It's kind of hard to hit, but that's really hard to hit. But within 10, we've got it within 10 RPM. And now let's go over and just lean our engine. There we go, we're sitting around 7.9, let's say 8 gallons an hour. That's fine. We don't need any more than that. That's all good. And yeah, I'm gonna leave the carb heat in. So still at 11 Celsius. Let's just give ourselves full whack on the cabin heat. Yeah, just wanted to comment. I like it. Not many do like it, or at least stream it. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. You see very little, if anyone, streaming VFR or GA on VATSIM, which is very sad. I just hope we have some ATC when we get there. Let me just pause track IR again. Oh, look at that. That's a lovely shot. Let's just leave it there for a minute. So, our predicted time of arrival is 1 hour and 20 minutes. It does look like there's an abnormal amount of traffic around at Bergen for not having ATC. So I wonder why that's like that. I don't know. That top of descent is quite close to Bergen. We'll see. Still don't have any. Still don't have any VATSIM Bergen ATC listed on vPilot. Sun is going to peek out behind the clouds there. Okay. All is quiet on the Western Front. Is my strobe on? It should be. I'm just not seeing it. Oh, there it is. It's strobing on the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. So you've just got nav lights on the wings, two tail lights mounted, and then you've got a strobe on the belly, and then the caution light on the top. Cool. 26 knot crosswind. Goodness me. I could easily leave it like that. Just. Why is my ETA fluctuating so wildly? Up in the top there. That's really strange. That doesn't make any sense. That's very strange. Maybe it's because of the crosswind? I don't know. I've got 158 nautical miles left to run, so I don't know what that ETA, that doesn't, that's the first time I've ever seen an ETA fluctuate that badly. So there we go. I know Volantis give me an hour and 17 minutes. to get there. So I just think Microsoft Flight Simulator is so beautiful. It really is beautiful. The moon is just rising. Look at that. And I can't quite see Norway yet. I may... there's just the slightest dark sliver on the horizon. Yeah, very, very, very faint. But I think I can see it. And we will be landing in the dark, so that'll be fun. IFR. Everything seems to be going okay. Cylinder head temps looking good. Oil pressure's bang on where it should be. Oil temperature's good. Fuel pressure's good. Yeah, all is good. Evening is drawing in. So let's just go and have a look at the outbound radial. Okay, so we're 48.5 nautical miles outbound from Sumburgh. The full track is 196 nautical miles, so we've still got a ways to go before we hit. If we even start getting close to Bergen, it'll be night by the time. We won't see Norway really. We'll just get there in the night time. So let's double check, see where we are with VATSIM. It'll be just like VATSIM for all of the ATC to just disappear by the time we get in. Apparently Bergen is still fully staffed. Still doesn't really make sense to me. There we go. There we go now. Okay. I am now happy. Tower, ground, clearance delivery, and ATIS. So the ones we'll need is tower and ground. So let's go put 19.1 and 21 and 21.9 on in our boxes. So let's go for Com 1. Let's go the tower, which is 19.1. in standby, and on Com 2 we will put ground as 21.9. Actually, that's already set, so we can do that, and we can select between Com 1 and Com 2 whenever we need to. So rather than fiddle around with changing frequencies, we know we already have Bergen ground active on Com 2. So essentially, when we need to talk to the tower, we just flip the frequency swap. We talk to tower, and then as we are decelerating on the runway, we just hit Com 2, and that saves us from having to really worry too much about what else is, hitting a different button further down. We just hit that button next to the illuminated one. And then I do love this split comm system. I never really used to utilize this. I really should have utilized this years and years back, but I never really learned to do it. Goodness me, that sunset. Yeah, look at that. That there'll be a sunset. That's another screenshot. Oof. Ooh. And that'd be another screenshot. Sun is almost dead astern. Yeah. Another screenshot. I take lots of screenshots in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't show everyone all of them, but they do look tasty. The moon is rising there. The performance, of course, is stellar in Microsoft Flight Simulator with an AcuSim aircraft. It really is. It's as good as the default aircraft. A lot less can be said about Red Wings Super Constellation. Daniel, I hope they'll have a more realistic looking sunset. This looks great, but it's just not right in 2024. I am coming to this simulator from the eyes of flying in FSX and P3D all of my simming years, and this is just head and shoulders so much better on the visuals. It just looks just so much more immersive and almost believable. I mean, I think the clouds could use some tweaks. Sometimes they look a bit too much like dust clouds from volcanoes. They just look too thick. The thickness of them is just sometimes a bit too much. They look sometimes way too puffy and like cotton balls. But apart from that, when you have an overcast layer, that just looks amazing. And P3D can never give you that, even with Rex and Active Sky and all that shenanigans. You'll never get a proper layering of clouds like that. Oh yeah, sun's coming out now. Ooh, actually, that's a nice profile. That's a very nice profile. It's beautiful, but that's all thanks to the reflections and material simulation. Yeah, 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 the ash clouds, but it wasn't something they can solve easily, they said, in a developer stream. I think to be solved in 2024, I hope. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Take the aircraft out of the pic. It looks wrong. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Daniel, this is the best we've got, and this is very good. For years we've had P3D, and I've been harping on for years. I've been complaining for years about the lighting simulation in P3D. It's crap. It really is bad. Really bad. It just doesn't look believable at all. The contrast, the colors, the sunlight, the shadows, none of it looks realistic or convincing. And it just makes for a really, really just makes for a bad simming experience. And the amount of time and extra add-ons you need to make it look somewhat believable over default is pretty obscene sometimes. So the fact that this is what we have out of the box, I can live with. I can live with this. I'm not going to complain about this. I mean, look at the sun flare. That's beautiful. Yeah, including the cockpits. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I am perfectly happy with what I've got just here. These screenshots I'm taking, I'm very, very happy with. They can all make really good thumbnails. Yes, it could use tweaks. It could always use tweaks. Like we say, the clouds could use some tweaks. But there we go. If MSFS 2024 can be made where all of the developers are able to port their 2020 add-ons directly into 2024 with little to no hassle, I think it would be worth it to upgrade. But if there's any hassle, I'll probably stick with 2020 for a while until I just see the dust settle on 2024, just to see what is it worth upgrading for me. But we'll see. Probably. I probably will. It depends. Will 2024 run any better or worse on my current hardware setup? I don't know. That's something for me to consider. So we'll see. But it's a bright future if Microsoft see the. It's a bright future if Microsoft see the value in bringing out MSFS 2024. I think it shows that they see that there's value and there's capital to be gained in a flight simulator franchise still, and that's encouraging. We just need more developers like A2A. We need A2A to double or triple their employee count, and to bring us the Stratocruiser, the Constellation, the Bristol Britannia, the vintage airliners and more general aviation aircraft. This aircraft, an AccuSim aircraft, is what really makes the simulator. It's not the other way around. The simulator in and of itself is just a simulator. It's these sorts of add-ons like this aircraft that are what I am here for. So. So we're currently 80 nautical miles out, and we're 196, so we're almost we're almost halfway. Another 10 to 15 nautical miles and we'll be at the midpoint between the two. And then at that point we can transition over to the Friesland VOR, which we will just grab the range for. Yeah, actually we could tune the Friesland VOR now, which we might as well do. Let's do that now. So that's 1555. So let's go 1555. Let's go back to, just go on to heading hold, and then let's tune over 1555 going inbound, and then let's just tweak the radial so that we are on the active radial directly inbound to the VOR, and then there we go. And then we'll press this button again, and we can see exactly how far we are away from Bergen, 113.5 nautical miles out. We pause track hour again, and we can continue on our merry way. 27 knots from the south, so we've still got a pretty strong southerly crosswind from the right hand side. Let me just pause my microphone for a second. Okay. I did see Songdal Tower on earlier today, and I was tempted, but he had absolutely no one online in his area, and I think he was on for about half an hour, and then he logged off, sadly. But I would be very interested. I was talking about this in my previous live stream. I would be very interested to look into beyond ATC for general aviation flying. Now, I've watched this video, the one where... No, not this one. Well, I've watched their most recent video.
Clear of active.
The Heathrow to Amsterdam, where they go through the ICAO, ICAO versus ESA. I think that's it. ICAO versus ESA rules for the European versus US and international rules, and it looks really cool. Albeit he's flying. Look, yeah, there you go. IFR and VFR. So I really want to. I would be very, very interested in picking up beyond ATC and testing it for the VFR flyer and IFR in GA aircraft. For all of those small little airports that I would just love to fly to more often and just explore the back countries, but still have realistic ATC. And I just never on this channel would I have the ability to go with a Comanche up the Norwegian coast to the tiny little airports, or up into Canada or the Yukon, or Alaska, and really have fun in these tiny little areas with the Piper Cub, when SAT's released for Microsoft Flight Simulator from A2A. And you just don't really get that on VATSIM. It's so rare that you get proper VATSIM coverage for small airfields. And I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder what they're going to do if they're going to be able to simulate airfields that don't have a control tower. Obviously, if there's an airfield that doesn't have a control tower, is Beyond ATC, is the software going to be able to identify that and then represent that correctly? So when you're in the bush and you come up to a dirt strip, is there artificially assigned to it a delivery, a radar approach controller, a tower controller, a ground controller, and it's literally like a dirt strip in the Yukon? Like those sorts of things. Is it going to be, is Beyond ATC going to handle uncontrolled airspace? Well, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. That is what I'm very interested in finding out. And I think I'll be following Beyond ATC closely. And as soon as it launches, I will be flying it in the way I normally try to fly on VATSIM. And I think it's going to be so much fun for me, because if it's realistic, it's going to open up a whole different level of flying, where I'm flying in my Comanche around jets like I normally would on VATSIM, but there might be some other GA aircraft to fly around with. I would hope that it would realistically simulate GA aircraft movements as well as, large airliner movements. Because in the most recent video, they talk about how the Beyond ATC system is also going to be controlling and populating the skies with aircraft, as well as providing all the ATC. So we'll see. It might actually, I have to say, the more I think about it, the more I think it might be a little bit of a death knell for VATSIM, for VATSIM for me, based on what the kind of flying I do. I don't know. I probably will never say, I'll never say goodbye to VATSIM, that's for sure. I'll still always fly VATSIM flights when there's VATSIM coverage. But if there's not VATSIM coverage, there's nothing stopping me turning on Beyond ATC and still enjoying the skies with full coverage. So that's really the power I think that it will bring, and I think I'll really, really enjoy it. So I'm looking forward to Beyond ATC. I wonder if they have a release window. While the tentative launch date is set for 2023, the team will not rush the product to market if it does not meet their quality standards. The pricing Beyond is considering, and note that these are all just ideas at the moment, it's quite different from what we're used to. Does that mean it's going to be a subscription-based model or something like that? The team has contemplated the idea of a one-time purchase, but due to the intensive computational requirements of the AI models, a one-off purchase model becomes challenging. Okay, so they might just make it subscription-based. The developer explained during the interview that in order to provide a fluid experience to users, AI calculations are performed on the cloud rather than locally, which results in additional costs per request. This approach, while necessary to maintain performance, introduces a need for a sustainable revenue model to offset the cost of these services. I understand that, okay. To address this, Beyond ATC plans to offer a basic package that enables users to access all features except the voices. Oh. This package would be available for use indefinitely, providing unlimited access to procedural information without audio. For access to voice features, Beyond ATC preserves a For access to voice features, Beyond ATC proposes a non-subscription-based model comprising different time packs. These packs are designed to provide users with a generous amount of time with the software, with the expectation that most casual users would not need to purchase additional packs. For heavy users, additional top-up packs will be available. These packs, economically priced around $2, will provide additional hours of voice service. Beyond ATC is also planning to offer varying tiers of voice quality. This flexible approach allows users to choose from high or low quality voices based on their individual preferences, further extending the usage time for those who opt for lower quality voices. Importantly, these time packs are not a source of profit for Beyond ATC. They are merely designed to cover operational costs, ensuring users only pay for what they need without any additional markup. While the exact pricing details are yet to be determined, the base package is expected to be in line with the current market, ranging between $40 to $70. Clearly, Beyond ATC is onto something with its approach to the ATC problem in flight simulation. We can only hope that the final product matches the project's ambition, but we'll have to wait at least a few months to see how this all turns out. As always, we'll bring you more updated information about its ongoing development as it becomes available. Interesting. I will be very interested in this. I'm interested to know your thoughts, guys, what you think about this. How this will influence your flying. Because for me, I don't know. For me, there's two things I do. There's two kinds of flying I do. One is this: flying on VATSIM, flying as realistically as I can with ATC coverage on a live stream where people are watching me do so. Two, while I'm working at home, because I work from home now, I'll be downstairs working, and upstairs, I'll come upstairs in the morning before I start work, I'll fire up the sim, and I'll load up a long haul, and I'll have the enjoyment of doing the flight planning, etc., taking off, and then before I start work, I hit autopilot in cruise, I go downstairs, I do my day's work, and I come up, and by the time I finish my day's work, I come up here, I land the aircraft, go have dinner, etc. I enjoy that. That's quite enjoyable to me to kind of do that and explore the world in that way. So that's like that. My second way is very, very casual, very automated. You whack on autopilot and just enjoy the sights. But the first option, which is what I'm doing right now, I think that's where Beyond ATC would really be such an asset to me, because I was sitting here earlier on thinking, should I do a live stream this evening? And so much of what influences my decision making with my live streams is there ATC online at the moment? Where is that ATC online? Do I have any realistic routes and aircraft that I can fly from A to B within that coverage area of that VATSIM ATC? VATSIM really influences how many live streams I can get done and where I fly. And like we say, if Beyond ATC is able to do that for us, I can fly anywhere I like and just experience controlled airspace and other aircraft movements around me. It's a win-win. And if it's as realistic as Beyond ATC seems to be, the voice recognition software, and I think it's going to be a game changer. I'm very interested in the product when they add the traffic injection. Yes, I think they plan to release it in 2 steps. First only ATC for your airplane, then later traffic injection also controlled by ATC. Okay, that's cool. Well, goat friend, the future is bright. That's what I'll say. The future is bright. Now, let me just double check my airspeed. No, okay. I looked at my airspeed and I immediately thought carb icing. But we don't have any carb icing, so that's fine. See the moon. We're going to have moonlight. That's cool. We're going to have some moonlight on. It's a full moon. And you can see how much ambient light that moon gives us. I mean, there is still a little bit of ambient light from in the atmosphere from the setting sun. But by the time we hit Bergen, that's going to be gone behind us. But we will have moonlight to fly by. Oh, look at that! The coast of Scandinavia, of Norway, has just popped in. And you can see now. What is that? Oh, that's actually Bergen. Yeah. Yeah, that's Bergen there. Just there. The reason why it's off our left nose is because we've got a 25 knot crosswind from the right hand side, meaning we have to point our nose into the wind to fly in this direction. And the airfield is like over here, and then Bergen is there. So that's actually where we're going. And we've got a beautiful moonrise and moonlight, giving us that little kick of nighttime visuals. Beautiful. Can only agree to what you said. I'm in the pattern and had to extend downwind to make the previous comment. Where are you flying and what are you flying, goat friend? Let's have a look. Where are you? Just refresh. Let's just refresh my SimAware tab. Make sure that ATC is still online, which it is. Good. Delivery. We have approach. We have approach. Yes. We got fully staffed ATC. Oh, this makes me so happy. Right. Okay. Let's tune up the approach then as well. So, remember we said we put tower on Com1 standby? Well, we're going to put approach, which is 2100. Like that. So that is Bergen approach. And then Bergen tower we'll put on Com2, which is 191. Set. And then we're going to put ground 219 on Com2 standby. So we've got Unicom, approach, tower, ground, which is cool. Let's just pick up the ATIS for Bergen while we're here, just in text form. Fleasland information, Oscar. Time 1750. Expect ILS whiskey approach. Runway in use. Runway 17. Transition level is 80. Clearance and startup contact delivery. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Clouds few at 1800 feet. Scattered 3000. Temperature 13. Dew point 13. QNH 1016. QNH 1016. No significant change. Remark wind 1200 feet is 170 at 13 knots. Right, which is significantly different than. Wow. Okay, so there's going to be a bit of wind shear on final. If they're saying that the wind at 1200 feet off the ground is 170 at 13 knots. And on the ground it's 120 at 4 knots, There's going to be some wind shear. This is going to be interesting. Yeah. It's getting darker. I'm happy that they've actually Fleasland Approach has come online. That's going to make this live stream worth it this evening. KRBG pattern work in Comanche just bought Rex AccuSeason Advanced. That came out, so checking what it can do. I upgraded for free. But I owned Rex AccuSeason before, and they said that you could upgrade, and I upgraded mine for free. You're able to do that. So yeah, I'm interested to see what Rex AccuSeason does for me as well. KRBG. Let's go find out where KRBG is. KRBG. Will it? Can I go there? Roseburg Regional. Oh. Oregon? No, that's not you. That's Bowerman. I wish they had Bowerman in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a beautiful airport. I can't see you, mate. Unless I'm barking up the... Sky Vector has it. Oh, I'm not on VATSIM at the moment. Okay, right. I thought you were. Okay. Cool, okay. Look at Europe right now. That's crazy. I'm very encouraging for a Wednesday evening. Just lit up like a Christmas tree. That's nice. I mean, where I would use this kind of ATC is when flying commercial, like the Fokker F-28. I wish we had more vintage airliners in the sim. We need the VC-10. We need the VC-10. I want my VC-10. Also, the upgraded versions of the Fokker F-28 is also coming out from Just Flight, which is the Fokker F-70 and F-100, which are the ones that have glass cockpits. I will be getting those. They look cool. I will definitely be getting those. But there's no sign of any more vintage. I just feel like we need more of that. France is always empty as usual. Yeah. Ah well, France. I have no interest in flying. No real interest in flying in France. I just don't know France. I don't know the French area at all. So, not that I have anything against France. Obviously, it's just I just don't really. And like you say, if there was more ATC in France, maybe I'd fly there before now. Hey, with Beyond ATC, there's no reason why I couldn't fly all across the VFR French countryside. That would be probably quite fun. There's probably a lot of places in the world that I could explore with Beyond ATC that I've not explored in VATSIM, because it's just like it's boring flying on VATSIM in a place where there's nothing going on. So we'll see. Okay, I have roughly 13 nautical miles to the top of my descent. So I am going to
Skipper 63.
Skipper 63, pleasant approach low. Roger, no report to traffic.
Okie dokie.
I am actually going to just tweak down my... Well, I could tweak up VATSIM.
Manifest to the Wales, clear RMP Whiskey 1, question 17.
Yeah, take clear RMP Whiskey 17.
I am just going to tweak down the engine noise now because I just couldn't hear.
Nordic 145, passing 3800.
145, pleasant approach, identified climb level 170 and a left direct in.
I think they have their own ATC network because they like to speak French. Can't remember the name. That's so classically French, isn't it? Gotta fly again, but keep your stream in background with sound on. Thumbs up. Okay, no worries. Go have fun with the Comanche.
I confirm 3,500 feet.
Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tailor...
Skipper 60, you're looking into the base on TMA and we're looking to cruise at about 3,000 to 4,000 feet.
Skipper 60, right to clear to enter flash on TMA 4,000 feet below V4.
4,000 feet below flash on TMA, Skipper 63.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the red lighting. Right, and also let's have a look at my checklists. Oh yeah, well we kind of went through the... Yeah, we went through the cruise checklist ourselves without actually formally doing it. We went through it ourselves. So the approach checklist. The approach checklist we'll do on the approach. So until then, we'll just... that is a cool screenshot in and of itself. I'm going to take that. Okay. Right, pause track IR. Right, let's go and have a look at our approach. Okay, we're getting close to the edge of his airspace. We're not in it yet.
Zero 95 Zulu, contact tower 119.1.
91 ska ni med 95 Zulu.
Okay, 54 nautical miles away from the airfield. In about 10 nautical miles, 5 to 10 nautical miles,
145,
we will start descending.
Go clear.
You're going to want to do a top ground Nordic 145.
Ha det bra.
Hello.
Ha det bra. Ha det bra. Ha det bra. En god kväll. Ha det bra. Or just simply have it. Ha det. But I love Norway. Oh. I should have continued learning Norwegian when I went up there a couple of years ago. Maybe actually it's not a couple anymore. It's more like 3 or 4 or 5 years since I was in Norway. Time. Where does time go? Where does time go? Okay, I'm gonna call it there, and let's see. We have top of descent coming up, and So I'm going to call up, yeah, you see us there. I'm going to call up ATC, call up the approach controller, and request descent. Bergen radar, good evening. Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you, flight level 100, requesting descent. Did that work?
Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo flash on approach, hello, squawk 0264.
Squawk 0264, and we have information Oscar QNH 1016 for Bergen at this time. Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo. Zero 0264. Set. Zero 0264.
Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo, identify flight level 100, expect descent in 20 track miles, and for now fly heading 070.
Expect descent later on and fly heading 070, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so let's head 070. Heading 070 set, and let's go heading hold. Okay, now we're on heading hold. He's giving us a vector. Let's start setting up for the approach. So the approach is going to be into runway 17, which is a frequency of 109.9. So let's go 109.9, like so, in standby. And we're still reading the inbound distance, 45 nautical miles to Bergen itself, to the VOR that's practically on the threshold. So we're 45 nautical miles to the threshold, and he's given us a right-hand offset turn. So he's going to bring us in for an approach from the north. Cool. And he's going to give us a descent later on. So the sun has now set, and we have a star in the sky, I think, out there. That's a pretty big star. We do have the moon, but we have cloud cover, so that's kind of keeping things a bit dark. I'm looking forward to this arrival, because we're going to have approach controller and tower and ground all in one go. It's going to be good. Glad I decided to come online. What is our ground speed? Let me just have a look. We can go ground speed to target is 130. But because we're not flying directly to it, we will be slightly more than that. But if we were flying directly inbound, you would get an accurate ground track into the VOR. And in fact, the little nav map's giving us 139, so that's pretty almost bang on. Okay, so we are going off track from the VOR, so let's set up the ILS localizer, which is 170. I think it's about there. Yep, that's course set 170. So when we are cleared the ILS, I will go put the ILS into active, and then that'll be reading out the DME inbound to the runway as well. Also, let's just bring up the Navigraph charts and have a look at the Bergen charts. Oh. Oh, hello. Little. Okay, unload. Import flight from SimBrief. This one is basically practically direct to. Yeah. There we are. Let's go ENBR. Charts. Approach. ILS Whiskey is the one that they set on ATIS. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, localizer of 170, frequency of 109.9. The end point is the end point of the ILS is 7.1, a distance of 7.1 nautical miles, and they want us to be at 2,400 feet as opposed to 3,000 feet. Although you come in from Bablu, yeah, you come in from Bablu to 7.1. So Bablu is off the chart, actually, I think. Yeah. No. Actually, that is the end of the ILS. That, yeah, there you go. That is Bablu. Max of 200 knots, which obviously we won't be doing. But at 7.1 nautical miles at 2,400 feet, that's where the 3-degree glide slope begins, down to the threshold. And as normal, if we're traveling at 100 knots approach speed, the descent rate will be about 531 feet per minute. Straight in landing, so ILS, the decision height for fully ALS out, CL out. I have the GS, I have the glide slope in, so it's going to be. I am not as familiar enough as I should be reading that chart to know exactly which number I should choose, but it doesn't look like it's as low as 200 feet. Well, actually no, that's barometric altitude, and that would be radio altitude. So it still seems to be happy with a radio altimeter, radio altitude of decision height of around 200 feet. It's just the barometric altitude is going to be slightly more. It's going to be 360 or 370 or 380.
Down approach Nordic 620, flight level 200 inbound, please. Information Papa on board.
Oh, information Papa. Let's pin that. And then exit.
Nordic 620, approach level squawk 2123.
2123 for Nordic 620.
It says whiskey now. Let me just refresh it. Maybe it updated to Papa. It still says information whiskey approach.
And 2123 is in the box for Nordic 320. 620.
Nordic 620, identified, clear direct Gilva, correction, clear direct Bravo Romeo 624, descent flight level 100 for ILS 17.
Clear direct Bravo Romeo 627.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to be
runway 17.
I have a feeling I'm going to have to be descending quite rapidly
Let's confirm Bravo
to meet
Romeo
his...
624.
Bravo Romeo 624.
Yeah, I have a feeling I'm going to be descending quite rapidly
Correct.
to meet his targets.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo descent flight level 90.
900 looking to re-enter the Descent TMA.
Descend flight level 90, Golf Lima, India Foxtrot Romeo.
0.
Step down.
Oh, everyone's stepping
Golf
over everyone else.
Foxtrot Romeo descent flight level 90.
Descend 90, Golf Foxtrot Romeo.
Another station calling, say again.
Scripper 63, we are 2,900 feet looking to re-enter the Descent TMA.
Scooper 3, you're shortly leaving TMA, so you're going to enter Solar TMA, so Unicom 1 to 2 decimal 8.
1 to decimal 8 away. Scripper 63.
Okay, just doing a bit of a zoom descent. And just double checking my frequencies. Tower frequency is 119.10, which is on COM 2, active COM 2, so that's all good. And he told me to send flight level 90, so we're still on standard at barometric pressure. And we're just descending. Another 200 feet to go, and then we will flatten out. And we'll probably need some trimming, because we're now quite high above our previous speed. We'll see how that goes. Just a few more tweaks. There we go. Right. Just pause this.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo descent 5,000 feet. QNH 1015.
Descend 5,000 feet, QNH 1015, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, so we're now descending 5,000.
620 descent flight level 90.
Flight level 90, Nordic 620.
Now we're going QNH 1015. And whoa, let's not descend too quickly. We also don't want to cool our cylinder heads too much and then have to whack on the power on final approach and then have heat cracking, expansion cracks, which I've been told is a thing, and I've always been afraid of it ever since I started flying this aircraft. And so far, thankfully, that's not happened. So coming down through 8,000. Just double check our QNH is 1015 set. And remembering as I descend, just to start to enrich in the mixture. And let's go with the lights on. Just because, why not? At this stage, we're under 10,000, we're IFR, let's put the lights on.
Nordic 620 descent 6,000 feet, QNH 1015, high speed approved.
Just do a fuel check. We're coming into about, okay, 9
Bergen,
gallons on either side.
Nordic 620 descent 6,000 feet, QNH
9 gallons on either
1015,
side,
high speed
all
approved.
good.
Down to 6,000 feet and high speed approved.
Once we level at 5,000, we'll do the approach checks.
Nordic 620.
He might vector us. I can hear that traffic I can hear that traffic coming inbound. Yeah. We've got a Norwegian Airlines 737 coming in from the east, from Gardermoen. So we've got two of them actually. Yeah, an RV7. I don't know what an RV7 is, but we do have a...
Nordic 620 after Bravo Romeo 624, proceed direct to Gilva.
Yeah, he's vectoring him in. Oh, sorry, accidentally opened Plan G.
Direct Gilva, Nordic 620.
Nordic 620 affirm after Bravo Romeo 624, then direct to Gilva.
After Bravo Romeo 624, direct Gilva for Nordic 620.
Okay, 5,000 feet is coming up. Let's just get rid of Plan G, didn't mean to open that up. Okay. Right, once we hit 5,000 and level, we will do some approach checks. That was... excellent. Excellent. Okay, we need to trim up. Okay, right, so approach. Well, okay, autopilot master needs to go off. Oh, there's a bit of a freeze. Fuel pump goes on. Okay, let's put the fuel pump on. Fuel selectors are on the desired tank. Fuel levels, we did just check them. Fuel pressure, checked, is good. Mixture, rich. We're down at 5,000, so it's just riching it up a little bit. Prop full forward, carbs as required. Okay, what's the temperature? Okay, we're +4. We don't need carb heat right now, I don't think. At least I hope we don't. No, it doesn't look like we need carbs, but we might. Who knows? Airspeed 120, gear down, flaps.
Nordic 620, descent 4,000 feet via Gilva, transition, clear ILS, whiskey runway 17.
Okay, now I'm going to go...
cleared under 4,000 feet and after Gilva, cleared ILS 17.
So we are currently 18 nautical miles out.
Golf Foxtrot, Romeo turn right heading 080.
Turn right heading 080, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Zero 80 set. Okay, now I need to trim down slightly. Okay, yeah, let's go 75%. Alright, let's go let's go 2400 on the RPM. Like so. And let's go back to 17 inches. There we go. Okay. Yeah, he's going to turn us in. You can see we're just below the glide. We're one dot below the glide, so he's got us just where he wants us. Thank you for the tea, my love. Excellent stewardess service. Right, there's the runway. We can see the runway lights off. 2 o'clock. So he's going to give us clear the ILS anytime soon. So remember, we've got we go to COM2 for the tower controller. Trim up. Yep, Zachary. Thank you. Yeah, that's what that is. And we don't need 140 knots. Well, actually, we actually might need that because...
Golf Foxtrot, Romeo turn right heading 100, descent to 3,000 feet.
Turn right heading 100, descend 3,000 feet, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Oh, yeah. There's the 737. He slot the 737 in before me, which makes sense. 3,000 feet on QNH 1015 set. Yeah, so we're all good. We're all good. All is good. Pulling out the power now. Pulling out the power. Just double check that we've not got any carb icing, which we do not have. That's good. We might have some turbulence, but
Nordic 620 established localizer 17.
That's him. Actually,
calling again.
he's far enough that I don't.
Nordic 620 established localizer 17.
And from here, I can see that he's in a banking angle. Because I can see his two. Yeah.
Continue approach, Nordic 620.
I could see the bank angle on his nav lights from here. That was really cool.
300 feet, climbing to 6,000.
Nordic 601, clear sound, go value identified, climb flight level 170, and proceed direct go cub.
Direct go cub and 170.
Coming down 3,000, 400 feet to go. Oh, 3,000 coming up. Yeah, we got a 19 knot crosswind here. So we're going to have a 19 knot headwind working against our ground speed towards the runway. So actually having our power up isn't going to be a bad thing necessarily.
119.1 for Nordic 620.
And nose up to 3,000.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, turn right heading 145, clear ILS, whiskey 17.
Turn right heading 145, cleared whiskey 17 for Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Trim up and 145. Let's go 1, 4, 3, 4, 145 set. Cleared whiskey 17. So we are now in the flap regime and gear regime. We're down to 100 knots, which is good. I always forget that the outside is miles per hour and the internal is knots. Dear. Gotta love it. Right, there is the ILS. There's the localizer coming in. So let's go high track, and let's just trim up. Localizer established. Or not quite yet, but it's almost. Let's just try and keep 100 knots now that we can see our knottage.
Nordic 601, now for the right, you see available Unicom 128. Alva.
128.8.
No way! No way! Did tower go offline? Don't tell me tower went offline. I hope that was another aircraft. No, it looks like they're all still online again. Yeah, it looks like it was a different... Phew. And Golf Foxtrot Romeo is established, whiskey 17.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, Roger, tower 119.1, goodbye.
Tower 119.1, thank you very much. Good evening, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, let's go over to the tower. Now on tower frequency. Tower, good evening. Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you. Currently 10.6 nautical miles.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, Flashland Tower, very good evening. Continue approach number 2.
I continue approach number 2, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. These Norwegians are very sing-songy. I do like them. Right, now on little nav map, I'm not getting any ground chart. Not getting any ground chart stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Navigraph charts on my second screen. Oh, my night vision, and just so that I have the plate,
ground on 121.9,
but not physically in my
1219er, Nordic
face. So.
620.
Alright, here we go, just loading this up. Oh shoot, yep, that's actually...
Golf Foxtrot Romeo, wind 120 degrees, 5 knots, runway 17 clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 17, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, alright.
Westland Tower, good evening, Scandinavian 50, Quebec Yankee.
Let's go gear down.
Yankee for holding point runway 17.
Scandinavian 50, Quebec Yankee, Flashland Tower, very good evening. Behind landing...
Piper Cherokee.
Behind landing,
Sorry, Comanche.
Piper 24, line up runway 17, behind.
It's going to take you a while, mate. This is good.
After the landing aircraft, line up runway 17 behind Scandinavian 50,
I mean,
Quebec Yankee.
my ground speed's 95 knots, so you could probably take off now without... Well, then I might be... we'll leave it. Okay, so now let's rerun through our approach checklist, which is autopilot master off. Yeah, let's just take it off now, like so. Now we're on manual. Fuel pump is on. We turned it on earlier on. Fuel selectors are on desired tank. Fuel levels, let's check. We've got about 8.5 gallons in each side. Mixture is rich. Propers full forward. Carb heat as required. Let's push that in. Airspeed is 120, which is we're below that, but we're monitoring. We're fine. And gear is down. Correction. Yep, that is correct. That's green. Gear is green, and flaps are as desired. So we've got we've got first notch of flaps actually. Let's just maintain center line. Thank you. There we go. And let's go to the landing checklist. Landing checklist, gear indication lamp is green. Checked. Flaps are down. If windy, flaps as required and add 5 miles an hour. And airspeed 90 miles an hour. Yeah, so that's after landing. Let's just put the after landing there and let's get rid of that so we can see what we're doing. Okay, I'm not going to pay attention to chat for the moment, and I'm just going to land the aircraft. Slightly off the localizer now. Let's just correct. Whew, look at that scenery there. It's beautiful. Just took a screenshot. Right, yep, we're below the glide, so let's just correct. And actually, let's use this opportunity to bleed some speed. Yeah, there we go. Bled some speed, and we'll keep it like this. We don't need any more flaps. We don't need any more drag. There's someone waiting for us on the threshold. Let's just get down. 3.2 nautical miles. Again, holding a solid 95 knots indicated. 1,000 feet to go. And remember, our decision height was about, let's just call our decision height 320. Or we could call it 310 just to be solid on what we looked at on the chart earlier on. Ah, I love the scenery. Even at nighttime, the scenery in this sim just looks beautiful. There's a football stadium and stuff as we go by, and we're low on the glide. Again, just correcting. And again, this is the thing with nighttime flying. In P3D, nighttime looked just as bad as daytime, but when the moon is out, even with cloud cover, when the moon is out, you do have outside lights, and if you adjust your cockpit lights as you should, you have good visibility outside, especially with all of the lights they use. Another screenshot. Especially with all the runway lights, they definitely have good. You have good visibility at nighttime. But in P3D, sometimes it was just horrible trying to fly at nighttime. It just didn't. It was either pitch black or everything was lit up such that it just wasn't realistic. Okay, so here we are. The wind is directly down the runway. There's the aircraft on final. Pappy still look good. I can feel a little bit of a buffet there. Do you remember that wind shear? No, we're still good. We're okay. Okay, right now I'm not paying attention to my...
Hello, Tower Scandinavia 481, taxiing Yankee to holding point, runway 17.
Not paying attention now to the instruments,
Scandinavia
solely looking out the window.
Hello.
There's the power pulled. Let's just float her down. There we go. We floated just until we had the stall warning horn on the dash, and we could actually make that turn off. Look at that. We did use quite vigorous braking there. That was pretty sharp. Okay, stroke.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Contact ground on 121.9.
121.9, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Okay, we are on Yankee.
Scandinavia 50, Quebec Yankee. Wind 120 degrees, 5 knots.
Actually, we're at Alpha 4. Fleeceland ground, good evening, Golf Lima India Foxtrot Romeo with you, vacated on Alpha 4, requesting taxi to General Aviation.
Golf Foxtrot Romeo Fleeceland ground, hello, welcome. You can taxi to General Aviation straight ahead on Bravo.
Straight ahead on Bravo, thanks, Golf Foxtrot Romeo. Alright. And let's just go for the after landing checklist. Oh, actually, let's just double check we know where we're going. In the dark. Yep, okay, there's a little left. Yeah, okay, I could just go straight. Oh, look at our nav lights on the ground. That's cool. Green on the right, red on the left. Sweet. Lean for ground operations. And just bring the RPM down for ground operations also. Right, flaps up, strobes were off, fuel pump can go off. Mixture, lean is required, trim goes to neutral. We'll just reset the trim for next time. That's helpful. Yeah, that was fun. And then we just taxi over to the General Aviation. And then the shutdown checklist we will do as and when. Oof. Bit of a hill there. And so my next flight, I don't know if I'll do it on a live stream or my next Comanche flight, I'm saying. My next Comanche flight could be offline, or it could be online, depending on where ATC. Again, that's the whole thing I was saying before. Depending on how much ATC there is available, I might do the next few flights offline because they would be boring to you guys. These terrain elevations would not be here in real life. That's definitely not realistic. Where is this going? You know what? I'm just going to whack it down here. That he looks confident. Yeah. He looks confident right there. Okay, let's put the park brake on. Let's bring out that shutdown checklist. Park brake set. Radios off. Transponder off. Avionics master is off. Master switch off. Turn off the lights. Throttle closed. Mixture idle cutoff. Like so, and then magnetos off. Control wheel, let's just secure that. Like so. Doors and windows. Well, let's just open that up. It's probably 13 Celsius outside, that's not too bad. And tie down secure, so let's put the tie downs on. Wheel chocks, tie downs, pitot cover, and let's put the engine heater on because it is Norway in September, late September. Okay, and there we go, ladies and gents. That is the flight. Let's just pause track IR, and what have I got going on here? Let's just plug in my keep default, resume. -9. Oh, it was a -9 line. That's not bad. That was a bit of a fluke. I mean, I have to say that was a bit of a fluke. So let's just reset the outside. Okay, let's go see what's going on at Bergen. Let's just, now that we've finished the flight, let's just go to the weather. And let's just spam the weather to a daytime weather. Now, of course, one thing that... so that's one thing I've learned about the Bergen scenery, is going to and from the GA apron, there is a horrendous spot there on the ground that you need to be aware of. So that wasn't terribly well done, whoever did that. Is this interior modeled? Nope. These interiors are, though. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Videre. We have a Videre hangar. That's the one thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator, and Ian, of course, knows this all too well. We don't have any Dash 8 Q400 by Majestic yet, and based on how long it takes them to develop for any platform, we probably won't have it for a while. So that's the one thing I have to do without until that gets ported across. To be fair, by the time it comes across, it will probably be time to put it in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Because it's, what is it, next year, 2024? How is it 2024 next year? I don't know. So we have a hotel. Very nice. And this is the classic terminal I remember from Bergen. When I was flying in P3D, the Airsoft Bergen scenery had this kind of petal-shaped terminal. But then, and those actually are very dark. Are they supposed to be that dark? Are they supposed to be pretty much black? I thought they were supposed to be dark red. But anyway. This brand spanking new terminal, I think in the old scenery I had for P3D, this terminal, you could see the construction in the scenery. They had designed it that way. Oh, dude. So, I never have seen this before. This is new to me. So, with VATSIM traffic, this is VATSIM model matching. This is FLAI traffic, I think. The gateways the gateways work with AI traffic. That's interesting. Anyway, so he's docked, and this must be a brand spanking new terminal, because it was only opened, I would have said, in the last 5 years. And there is a guy doing what guys do. Let's see. This is what we never really had in P3D or in FSX. All of these internals, which they're all very well, but the thing for me is that if the scenery gets so bloated that it destroys the performance on mid-range PCs, then we need developers to add options to literally turn off airport interiors completely, because it's just a whole load of vertices which are just destroying mid-range and lower end PCs, sadly. But some airports could really do with a few optimizations and tweaks. So there's like parking and stuff. See, these are the sorts of things with classic P3D sceneries that we just never would have expected to be added. You know, buildings outside, you know, big cranes on final approach, that we were told about, but we just, you know, Ian in P3D doesn't fly with all this kind of extra faff. It's nice to have, but it's as long as it's not performance destroying. And you can see the quality of my trees are that I don't have 3D trees turned on, because I don't have that level. I don't have enough performance. I'm on my sim. I optimize my sim for performance. So anyway, I really enjoyed that. I will have to go back and rewatch that touchdown. I didn't realize that was a -9, but I did manage to successfully flare all the way until I saw that stall warning horn light, amber light, starting to flash in my peripheral vision when the mains touched down. So I was happy with that landing. But there we go, Bergen, everyone. And when I next do a Comanche flight on the channel, it might not be from Bergen. It might be wherever I fly onto in my own time. So we'll see. But for now, yeah, I might do some Norwegian sightseeing. So the next flight might be from somewhere in Norway. So anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. And I'll just set it back to real time now that we've had a look around the airport. And you can see the exposure adjust. And we've got a nice moon. So there we are. Oh, there's an aircraft up in the sky, probably descending down. Where is he? Who is it? Ah, it's SAS. Where's he going? What's he doing? Let's just have a look. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for watching. I'll just double check the chat before I go. If I missed anything? No, it didn't miss anything. Thanks for the stream, Goat Friend. Yep, you too. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you all next time.